I can talk about pretty much anything myself, but like I just don't know like exactly what to touch on because it's like a lot of shit that's like really, really controversial, like to speak
There's a
about
lot
that
of
needs to
shit.
be talked about. Yeah, it's just too much. Like, let me just what do you think about the election first off? We'll start there and go on.
Um, well, so I don't like either Trump or Biden. Um, but so I voted third party. I voted for Joe Jorgensen. She's the libertarian candidate. She believes in legalizing marijuana. She believes in getting out of the war. She believes in lowering taxes. She imagine taking the right and the best from the left and putting them together. That's the Libertarian Party, and she's not going to win by a mile. Most people have never heard of her, and it's because
Damn,
people are too
I haven't
lazy
even heard
to
of her,
think.
but like
I'm
I
saying,
said, I haven't even heard of her, but like hearing from like your aspects of it, I would totally vote for her because I didn't vote for nobody
okay,
because Trump, is full of shit. Biden's full of shit, and then Biden,
yep,
he all got like this Black Lives Matter type shit, using like that to just really catch the attention, of the minorities,
right.
and then people just really just rocking with him. They are like Biden Harris, like. Do they even know the history of Biden and Harris? First off, and then like Trump, you know, I think it's just a joke when they voted him in the office, like for real though. Like,
I agree with
like,
that. I mean, I think a lot of people thought it would be kind of funny. Like, let's vote in this guy who isn't a politician, just kind of a shit talker. And then, but then a lot of people also liked what he was saying, like liked what he said his policies would be, and he ended up winning. And I think he's going to win again, and I would rather him than Biden. Again, I didn't vote for either of
exactly.
them, but
It's
I would.
because like yeah, it's like you know what you're gonna get like with him, like with Trump,
Right,
like Biden.
right.
He's like he's too. He's like a setup, low key. Like he says key things that people do not catch on to. They're just going by like what his words. But like if you read in between the lines of like what he's saying, you would be like, okay, like come on now.
Well, also he said, people on the left don't pay attention to this stuff because they're not, like, I heard something interesting the other day that said that people aren't pro Biden, they're just anti-Trump. Like, nobody's in Biden's camp.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're just in the anti-Trump camp. So if Biden says something fucked up, they're not going to notice or they're not going to care because it doesn't matter because they're not pro Biden, they're anti-Trump. But Biden wants to, like,
Yeah.
raise taxes. Like you said, the Black Lives Matter thing. I love that you said that because a lot of people are eating that shit up. And it's like, well, actually, no, these fuckers are rioting in the streets. It's like, there's a
Uh huh.
difference between a protest and a riot. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Like
if
people are
there's
just
people out
doing
there,
dumb shit with the
yeah,
protesting. Like,
right.
in these
It's
buildings,
not a
stealing
protest
shit.
anymore.
No.
Right.
It's
Right.
like I just don't know what to say about that. And then let me touch on this. Like this whole Black Lives Matter shit. Like, yo, they can just throw that out the window. Like I'm sick of
Right.
hearing about it on the TV. Like we're all people, we all bleed, like, whatever. Like people need
Right.
to get out of that mind state, just thinking that people are shooting up, black people in general. But like to be honest, they need to check their own people because they're killing each other. They're the main
Right.
problems. And not to just say it like that, to come off like that, but like it's true. Like, this
No, it's
whole
it's a
like, did you hear
fucking
about that
serious
shooting in
issue,
Philly?
man. Yep.
Yeah, did you hear about that shooting in Philly? Like,
I
first off,
did.
the dude had a knife in his hand coming at the cops.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like, what am I trying to say? Because like, it's just a
No,
lot.
no, I hear you. I hear you. Well, no, let me follow up with that. So the problem is, and it's funny. Like when Trump says fake news, at the beginning I thought that, okay, this guy's fucking crazy. But the more I like did my research and realized he's actually telling the truth because the news is designed to just sort of appeal to people.
Just
And
lie.
so
Yeah,
what I was gonna say was when the guy in Philly got shot, all the news outlets on the left, and I think this is actually criminal. All the outlets on the left, all of the headlines were black men killed by police. And it's like, yo,
exactly. The same
if you want to
stereotype.
like fire everybody up, if you want to get everybody all pissed off, then that's what you say the headline should be. But if you take the race card out of it and you say what actually happened, man wielding knife killed by police, and then you watch the video of this dude chasing these two cops with a knife and then backing up, not wanting to shoot him, moving around the car, trying to get away from him, telling him to put the knife down after fucking 30 seconds of that,
Exactly.
and then they shoot him, there wouldn't be riots. But guess what? The people read the headline. It says black man shot
Black.
by police, and people react to that emotionally. That's fucking criminal, man. That's
And then
the
that Breonna
media.
Taylor, yeah, that
Yeah.
Breonna Taylor, she's not innocent herself. She fired off at the cops. Like, and then like they said
Right.
that they was watching the house. Like it had to be a reason. Like cops just don't watch a house for no reason. Like soon as I heard that and then like got further information about that, like I knew exactly what she was doing. She was selling drugs out of the house, and then like her letting off shots is further confirmation. And then that whole George Floyd situation, that's a bunch of bullshit itself. Like I don't know, like the people.
Well, what I was gonna say was like, so I agree with you with the Breonna Taylor thing. Like, it's okay. Is it a tragedy that somebody died? Yes, right. That's simple.
Yes.
We can all agree on that. Is it a reason to think that cops are killing black people for no reason? No. Like,
No.
and then the George thing. Do you know Joe Rogan? He does that podcast.
Yeah.
He's a fighter. He's like an MMA guy, and he said, he knows how to choke people out. He's been doing it for decades. And he says he watches the George Floyd video, and he says that he knows for a fact, because he knows how to choke people professionally, he knows that the dude's knee on the guy's neck must have directly contributed. No, well, no. I was gonna say the opposite. Now I'm on the same page with you, but I think that cop like should get in trouble. I think that cop should. I mean, he obviously should have been fired.
You
I
should
think
get
he
in
should have
trouble for
been.
that though too. Yeah.
Right. So did he murder him? No, because he was alive. You know what I mean? Like but
and not to mention he was high. He was intoxicated as well too.
He wasn't a healthy guy. He was on drugs. He wasn't healthy. But here's what the real problem is, because even the George Floyd thing, which I think most people would agree, like you watch that video and you're like, holy shit, that's so fucked up. I think everybody would agree on that. You don't see people in the street saying we need to make adjustments to police training. No, they're saying, oh, defund the police. Are you nuts? Like, why can't people say, like, cops need better training? They don't need 6 weeks training. They need like 3 years training.
Yes, it's just like if you go to college, they need that type of training.
Yeah, it needs to be extensive. And they need to like the way they train in the military. Like I heard this one guy, Navy SEAL, talking. Yeah, they trained 18 months, so a year and a half. They trained for a mission that was only going to be 6 months. They trained for 3 times as long as the length of the mission, because that's how prepared they needed to be. And being a cop's the hardest job there is. They need better training. like why can't, if people really cared about the real problem, they would deal with the real problem. The real problem is police are not trained well enough, and people like you. I'll ask you this: if you get pulled over by a cop, or if a cop stops you and needs to like talk to you, what are you gonna do?
You know what I mean? I'm gonna pull over and stop. I'm gonna show him my insurance, and then he's gonna tell me like why he pulled me over, like why he stopped me. There's no reason for me to just get all out of character and be like, why the fuck you pulling me over? Like, what's up? Like, is it because of this?
Exactly. Or like there's that video of this black guy who, you come to find out that he is like a ex-military guy, real respectable dude, black guy. And he's running down the street, and he's jogging, and he gets pulled over. He gets stopped, I should say. And the cop apologizes 1,000 times and says, look, man, you match the description perfectly of this guy that we're looking for. I'm not saying it's you. I don't want you to think I'm saying that it's you, but I do have to detain you. The cop apologized 100 times for detaining this guy.
Yeah.
Showing mad respect. And the headline is like, well-decorated Marines stopped by police. Like they make it a big deal. It's like, they're doing their job, man.
It's like they dressed it up.
Yeah.
They dressed it up because they knew the people was gonna fall for it. Just like I was kind of like reversing. Like I was going down the list, like with the George Floyd situation.
Yeah.
COVID was like slowly like going away, right? You wasn't really hearing about it. And then all of a sudden you hear this George Floyd situation. And then they was letting people protest, loot, tear down stuff and then all that type of shit. But like nobody was wearing like face masks. Like that was a setup there
Right.
itself. If it's supposed to be like so bad, this and that, airborne, people don't know how you getting it. That's all a ploy. And then like it's weird that this pops up like during elections. Like, have you noticed that like every election that something major happens around this time?
Yeah, it for sure. That's part of the design. Like I heard somebody call it October surprise. Like the October before the election, there's always a big thing that comes out. Like we find out about Hunter Biden and all this like Ukraine stuff or whatever. Like where they probably were sitting on that information for a while. Of course, they're going to wait until close to the election to drop that news. So yeah, for sure, you're dead on. But and that's politics. Like
Uh-huh.
that's how
It's
politics
politics, but like
works.
people should like really like just instead of like just listening, going by like what it said, they should like it should really just hold on, let me reverse. It should just
Sure.
be common sense though, like to be honest, Lil. Common sense, like to take time and just think, about the situation and everything. Like
Right.
it don't take a rocket scientist to like put it together, but like people just believe anything that like comes on the news because they dress it up, they make it look good, they be like this and that. All them people are actors.
Right. Right. No, it's definitely true, man. That's definitely true. I think it's funny too that we went for like a super controversial thing, and we are in total agreement.
That's what I said. I'm
That's
like,
funny.
I don't know where to pinpoint, like I don't know where to start from. I'm like, look, let's just start on something and go down the list because it's like it's so much, and like people should be like just really just thinking and like putting it together instead of just oh well, being scared, and then like they telling you don't be afraid and stuff, but yet they're like advertising it on the news like every second.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, it look being in the news is like it's a job, and your job is to keep people watching, right? Like if you think
Hmm.
about it like that, your job is to
Just
keep
like a
people
TV
watching.
show.
Correct. So I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna like surprise you with something right before commercials because I want you to stick through the commercials so that you'll keep watching. So that the commercials, like whoever is doing the advertising, those people make money, and then those shows, stay popular. So and there's nothing wrong with that. That's business. That's capitalism. That's fine.
Uh-huh. It's for a
But the
business,
problem is
yeah.
Right. But the problem is that when the business is the news and you have to try to, that's why clickbait exists because your job is to keep people hooked, but you're literally keeping them hooked with important information. It's like find out at 9 o'clock why black people are getting shot, and then you're like, what the hell?
Uh-huh.
Black people are getting killed?
And
Let me
yeah, they
watch.
slowly just put out like little small little pieces. It's like they go
Right.
around like in a circle. They like don't give you too much information and then they don't give you hold on. What was I thinking thing? I lost track of like what I was trying to say, but like it's
Oh, you're
kind of
good.
like they just give them like a little bit. But like they
Yeah, they
pinpoint
give them a
like the
taste.
major yeah, like not even a taste, like appetizer. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, before the main course. Yes. And then
And then
and
just
then
slowly
they
hit them.
and that's what you look at like articles that have the headline, it's the same thing. The headline is like that taste, and you're like what, oh, I better read this, and then you click on it, and then when you open up that page with the article, all the ads on the side of that page, all the advertisements, those people are paying money for those couple seconds that your eyeballs are on that page, hoping that you're going to go, oh, this article is bullshit. That was clickbait. Oh, but those are nice jeans though. Let me click on that. Let me see where those jeans. Oh shit, Kohl's got jeans for on sale. And then Kohl's just sold a pair of jeans and that's how it goes. So it became about clickbait and it became about trying to get people's eyeballs on advertising. And if that's when you're talking about people's lives, when you're talking about the state of the world, that's a very dangerous thing.
Ah, dang, it had muted for some reason. I couldn't hear you. Now I can hear you.
Oh, weird. Well, it said there was a listener who came in, so maybe that messed with it. I was on this app yesterday, And
I just
I
got
was
on it
talking to.
yesterday.
Oh, nice. It's fun. But
It
I
is.
was
It's
like talking to
lit.
my buddy, and I kept getting kicked off. Like him and I would be talking, and then it would kick him off, and it would put somebody else in place talking to me, and then the same thing happened to him. So wait, it doesn't seem to be happening now. So, but yeah, we were using it yesterday. Actually, the reason we were using it, maybe I should tell you this. Um, my buddies started a political podcast.
Yeah.
And they are doing a live feed tonight for the election. And it
What's
starts
the
at
channel?
8:30. Let me. Are you on Instagram?
Yeah.
Is it this? Is it your same name here? How would I?
It's actually Brazy Flow PR on my
All right,
Instagram.
let me find it. You said Brady like with a B.
Brazy, yeah, Brazy Flow, and then PR, like no underscore, none. It's all one word.
How you spell Brazy?
BRAZY,
Brazy Flow
and then PR.
PR. All right, let me see. My internet seems to be going real slow.
Mine seems to be
Okay.
going like not going slow, but like just kind of like lacking today for some reason.
I wonder if just like everybody's on the internet right now.
Probably so. They said the internet's supposed to be like supposedly like shutting down, like or whatever. Just gossip, bullshit.
Oh damn,
As I call it.
that's scary. I don't want that.
I don't know what I would do without internet. Like to be honest, though.
No, not nowadays. The whole world is online now. Damn, I'm not seeing it. BRAZYFLOW.
Yeah. What is yours? I add you.
Um, my first and last name Carlos Plaza. So CARLOS.
Okay.
Last name is Plaza, PLAZA. And then drums, like the instrument, DRUMS. Oh, it's saying I don't have
Okay.
any internet at all. I
Found
wonder
you.
I can't find it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I see you. Crazy flow. All right, let me.
Came from Asia. Wouldn't it be like an Asian type of name?
Well,
Like
let's look it up. Let me look. Where? Because the coronavirus is not a new virus. It's like a series of viruses. Like the flu isn't one virus. It's a whole bunch of different strains, and some of them are stronger than others. So the same thing with corona. So corona has multiple strains, and this was a
uh-huh.
new strain, which is why I remember at the beginning they were calling it a novel coronavirus.
A novel.
Remember
Okay.
that? Remember them saying that novel coronavirus because it's a new strain. So where did the word corona
And
come
then
from?
like
Let's see.
another thought. It really could be the flu, but like a more evolved version of the flu that your body has to get adjusted to.
Right. Yeah, so there's been many coronaviruses, and they are in a subfamily of, I don't know if I can even pronounce this, but orthocoronavirinae. So it's like a much broader, like the word, for example, the word animal, like incorporates humans, it
It's
incorporates
like the more
lions.
sophisticated version, like the sophisticated
Yeah,
version.
yeah, it's a more broad, like, so coronavirus specifically is a more specific version of this greater species of virus. So they've been around for a while. That the whole corona thing could just be because actually I like that you said that corona like is Spanish, but I bet you it's got a Greek origin. It's most likely
It
got a
could be like
Greek
a
origin. Yeah,
Latin.
exactly. So it's you know the strain of virus could be. Yeah, I don't think that that matters at all. That it because supposedly it came from the animals in China, and lots of bats and lots of animals naturally have coronavirus themselves. Because that's just kind of like naturally occurring. So
And then
yeah.
another thought as well, is bringing up the animals. You know, wouldn't animals be the first thing that it would hit first? Like, wouldn't they be like birds, for instance? They would be dropping out of the sky first, and then like the fish, and all that.
Not necessarily because different animals like are immune to different things. Like sharks can't get cancer.
Okay,
Did you
and
know
that's
that?
odd. I really didn't know that. Or
So different animals are more or less susceptible to other things, and so maybe this virus doesn't affect birds. You know,
okay,
it doesn't affect worms because they don't have lungs. Like, so I see what you're saying, and that's it's funny because you bring up this idea of animals, but you're not saying like, hey, what the fuck? You're going like, hey, wait a minute, what about this? Like you're asking a question, and if I don't have the answer, I'm going to go look it up. But what we're definitely not doing is saying for sure 100% that we know that X, Y, and Z,
yeah,
because
just
that's the
pointing.
problem is people are right.
They're just pointing just anywhere. They're just pointing because they're saying that.
Right. And that's a problem. It's the same thing we were just talking about with like Black Lives Matter. Like people aren't doing their research, they're reading the headline, they're getting freaked out, and they're not doing the
Mhm.
research, and then they see people rioting in the streets demanding, equality for everybody, and they go, "Hey, wait a minute. I believe in that. Let me go riot too." And they
And
don't
then
really know.
what's crazy about that, like a lot of people, well, a lot of black people don't like whenever I do discuss that, like they be like they say stuff, but like protesting does not involve stealing hair weaves. It does not involve stealing TVs,
Correct.
stuff of that nature. Like, what does that have to do with anything?
Right.
Like,
Right.
it's like they're not doing it for the right cause. They're just doing it just because. And like, if you look at it, it's kind of like history repeating itself. Like there's stuff that happened way, like I guess, like where was that? Like where the blacks were like fighting like the police, whatever, like back in the older
Oh, in like the
days.
'60s, like the civil rights movement.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but like not to that degree. But like they're trying to make it like that, like
They
to.
are trying to make it like that. Yes, they're trying to make it seem like it's the same thing like it was back then. But back then, there were literally laws written that said this is a black water fountain, this is a white water fountain, this is a black bathroom, this is a white
Uh-huh.
bathroom, this is a black school, this is a white school. So were they right back then? Of course they were fucking right. But it's
Yeah,
not
because
the
they was
same
going by
now.
the
Those
law.
jobs right. Those laws have been eliminated. Those laws obviously were unconstitutional. It took us 100 years to figure it out, but that's okay. You know what I mean? We finally came around. We finally figured
Hmm.
it out. So good for us as a country for figuring it out.
We
But
graduated.
right, it is a good thing. Like all the countries had slaves. It was fucked up that we did that shit,
Mhm. And
and
everybody was
we
slaves, not just blacks either.
right. Oh yeah, they had every color. Doesn't matter.
Mhm.
They just wanted people to do their labor, and there was it's like the mob mentality. If there's
It's
10 of
kind of
me
like a
and one of
job.
you know
It's kind of like a family type of thing situation. It's kind of like, okay, we're gonna need some workers. We're gonna need this done, this and this, whatever. But like the main problem of today's issues, I would honestly say it's black people that needs to really like change, like and get out of that mind state. Cause like they're just going
right.
by like their grandmothers and stuff of that nature and just, listening, just listening to how they making it come off, and really it's not like that. It's like, and then what I notice is like blacks, they always judging people, they always have something to say about somebody, they always question other people's actions and stuff, but like don't question themselves.
Well, you said it before at the beginning, like the black on black crime is through the roof, and you don't hear anybody talking about that. Well, you hear some people talking about that, but it's so disturbing that not enough people are asking what can we do about that because that's killing way more people. and they're not talking about it, and it's because it's a real issue. Again, these people don't want to talk about real issues. They want to just
It's like they
react
wanted to put it
emotionally.
aside. Yeah.
Right. Like if you wanted to talk really, really seriously about like how to help fix black communities that are just entrenched in violence and drugs, you would legalize marijuana in a heartbeat. That would solve a lot of problems. You would actually
Uh-huh.
like
Exactly.
flood those areas with more police. Like if those areas had more police and there was more or there was less opportunity for people to do illegal shit and people kind of had to kind of relax a little bit and those areas calmed down because there was constantly this fear that they were going to be busted for doing something illegal, then those
Mm-hmm.
areas would calm down, less people would be getting killed, less illegal shit would be going down. And then I heard an interesting theory about how if you flooded these areas with cops and all the illegal shit stopped because there was just no way of getting away with it, and things
Uh-huh.
started to calm down, then more businesses would be willing to set up their shops there. You know what I mean? More people would be willing to do business in areas with potential customers if they're not afraid of their stores getting looted all the time. So then the
Exactly.
area would start to flourish because more people would be doing better business. There'd be more jobs available instead of
And it
this
would be
black
more
dude who
money.
feels like his only yeah, and then people are making more money. Like I understand when somebody says that they feel like they have no choice but to sell drugs or be a criminal. But if
They
you
have a
give them
choice.
opportunity, they do have a choice. But if they don't think they have a choice and they feel stuck, then I can find it in myself to understand that. But then if you throw a million opportunities at them and everywhere they look there's a sign saying hiring, you know what I mean? Every single storefront has a sign saying we're
Mhm.
hiring. Then you cannot pretend like, oh, I have no choice. I gotta sell weed. No, 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 no. You could have gone and worked at PetSmart. You could have kind of worked at this place. You could have worked at this
Exactly.
place.
They do it because
But
they
those
want to.
right, right, exactly because they've been brought up to think that that's the way that you do things. That's but again, that's part of the problem because like a black dude who's convinced that that's the only way to do things. If his black grandfather told him that's how he had to do
Uh-huh.
things, then he goes, "Oh well, I'm black too, so I'm fucked. I guess I'm gonna have to do this." Okay,
And they
there's a
got to
certain
break
level
that
of innocence
generational
there.
curse.
Correct, correct. And but the way to solve that is to put storefronts there, to give people opportunities to get jobs, good jobs, and the best way to do that is to make sure those areas are safe, which equals more police. Like when that this dude was talking about that, and it just blew my mind when he explained it that way. The
Mhm.
answer is not less cops. The answer is more cops.
Oh, yeah. And then like the funny thing too, like I don't know if you know, like, because I had visited St. Louis area and
Okay,
like oh my God, like yo, there's like literally they shooting, it's like shootings like every day,
right.
literally.
Oh, it's nasty. Yep.
And it's mostly blacks that are doing it. Like just
Right.
shooting up people for no reason. Like shooting people in traffic, like just
Yep.
randomly.
Right. So you can't tell me that this is bad white cops. You can't. It's not a good
Mm-mm.
enough excuse. And the people that hear that and that think that that's true, they're going to react to that, and that reaction is going to be wrong. But it's so fueled. It's so filled with emotion and fear that
It's like
they're
a
gonna
hot
they're gonna
topic.
feel like they're right.
And like I hate to keep saying that, but like, yo, that's one of the problems. Like that is the problem, literally.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. So like I said, my Instagram's not working, but I did see a notification that you followed me. So when I get home, and I'm actually gonna have to let you go here now in a second. When I get home
Okay.
in maybe like an hour,
Yeah.
I'll jump on. I'll have good Wi-Fi. I will send you the link on Instagram. So in order to get the invite to the Zoom call, which is how we're doing it for the live stream, you have to
Okay.
go onto the website and subscribe to the newsletter because again, as I'm sure you know, with business they gotta find a way to pull you in. So these are my two buddies who do a political podcast, and they just really started, and they need people to listen on YouTube. They need people to listen on Spotify. They need people to get in, and they
Yeah,
want people subscribing to the
definitely.
newsletter. And so that's how. And I'm sending out an invite for the Zoom call at 7:30, and then the call starts at 8:30. Are you on the East Coast?
Yes, I actually am. Yeah. I'm in
Okay,
Philly.
perfect. So you, oh,
Yeah.
oh, nice, dude. I'm up in Easton.
Ah,
I'm like an
okay. Yo,
hour north of you.
Yo, that's crazy.
That is crazy. That's so funny. Okay, perfect. So it starts at 8:30, but you'll get the invite at 7:30 if you sign up to the newsletter. So I'll send you that link, man.
Okay. I have that.
Awesome, man.
All
It's
right.
been a pleasure talking to you, man. This has been great.
Yeah, this has been like fantastic, like phenomenal. Like, yo, I like this type of talk though, like for real.
Yeah, this has been great, man. Like I said, I'm following you on Instagram too. So